Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. So after taking a long break, I'm back to do process videos. And this is a process video of my 2020 Project Life album, week 40. I am using the Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit for the month of October. And what I usually do is I print all my photos and then I put them in semi-chronological order. I have two white cardstocks and I've just used my ruler and drawn out a grid of where the 4x6 cards go and the 3x4 cards go. So I'm going through the Project Life journaling cards that came with this kit, and I'm trying to decide where I'm going to put the different cards. And the 3x4 on the very left side is always my title card, and I just put the week number because I do date all of the photos that I put into my spread. So I'm going through the journaling cards here and trying to decide where I'm going to do some journaling and where I'm going to put filler cards. And sometimes it takes a little while for me to decide what goes where. And I'm also using one card from the Studio Calico kit because I didn't have enough cards that I wanted to use for this particular layout. So I'm looking at after I lay out the pictures and the cards, I am deciding to use a stamp that came with the Ali Edwards Stories by the Month kit. I put the right side of my layout onto the side and I'm using an acrylic block, and you can see I'm using my hand to wipe away the debris there. I also like to use a white eraser, but I didn't have one on me. So I'm going to stamp this using the black StazOn ink, and sorry for the shaking there. I do try stamping this and I messed up. So I'm practicing again, or I'm trying to put it over it, but it's not going to work. And I'm going to practice stamping on there several times before I get a foam type of a mat. This is the Amy Tangerine little mat that she gave us to use to put holes into areas where she embroiders, but I'm just using this to practice stamping. And I did print out another photo, and I'm showing you that I finally got the stamping right. So I'm going to stamp this first photo, and my kids were playing in the swimming pool. They're pretending they were surfing using boogie boards, and they were running onto the boogie board and surfing in the swimming pool. I'm using a stamp chamois to clean off my stamp, and the stamp chamois is not necessarily for StazOn ink, but I use it anyway. Then I'm going into this second stamp that says, I think it says autumn, and I'm practicing stamping on that as well. And I'm going to stamp that onto this bottom photo of my daughter doing her paint homework, and it says autumn on there. And I continue to use the black StazOn ink for that stamp as well. After that, I always try to put my stamps away because I have a tendency to lose my stamps, which is not good. So I do clean off my stamp and put the stamp away. And then I'm going to be dating the stamp, and I'm using the One Canoe 2 date stamp with the StazOn ink, and I do stamp all of my, or date all of my photos just so I know what days they are. I guess 20 years down the line it's not really going to matter, but I just like to have it just for my sake. Now I'm using this October Memories journaling card, and I'm using that as my title card, and I'm going to use these alphas and numbers from Felicity Jane, and I'm just going to put the number 40 down just so that I can know that this is week 40 that I'm working on. And if I remember which alphas this is from Felicity Jane, I will go ahead and link that down below. Now I'm going to be using my vintage Sarasa dark gray pen from, I think I got this at Jet Pens, but I will have it linked down below. And I'm journaling on the journal card that says, here's what I want to remember from October. I'm writing, I love that it's still warm enough here in San Diego that the kids can swim after school or online classes. Zachy and Christian tried skimboarding on the boogie boards. So I do like to write that, and I do like to use my own handwriting. I do wish my handwriting was neater, but one thing at a time, at least I'm getting it down, is how I like to tell myself. It's hard to put these little 3x4 journaling cards into the We Are Memory Keepers typewriter typecast, so I just go ahead and journal that. Then on the journaling card that says Adore This Season, I wrote, Uni is so into Tinker Crate subscriptions. He loves the building and engineering. He'd rather do that than swim. I love his curiosity. Kaya painted rocks in her art class. Good thing I had paint. With the kids doing online classes, we don't always necessarily know which art projects they're going to work on. So I'm glad I have a craft room full of art supplies that they can use. And they were supposed to find a rock, and they ended up pulling this rock. It's one of those fireplace decoration rocks that can take gas. Anyway, it worked out. So they did do that. And my kids did have a subscription to Tinker Crates, and he built this robot. And I think it's just so amazing, but we don't always go through all the subscriptions. So I just use the subscriptions on and off. I'm going through the chipboards that came with this kit, and I'm putting the chipboard that says Celebrating Now on the picture of my son doing the Tinker Crates and the robot. I'm also putting the Just Love on the picture of my son skimboarding on the top right hand corner of that photo. Now I'm moving on to the left side of, or the right side of my layout, and there's this picture of the sunrise. I wake up really early in the morning, and I like to have my coffee before any of my kids wake up. And so I am putting the chipboard that says Adore This Season, and our windows are actually clean. Because the swimming pool is right in front of this window, our window can get really dirty. So I wanted to make sure I captured a picture of this clean window. Now on the very bottom of this photo, of this layout, I have this picture of my kids during Halloween, and I'm using the stamp that says October Memories. And I know it didn't stamp perfectly, but I'm okay with imperfect because I am not paying for a professional to do my Project Life album. So I'm great with homemade. So I decided to swap the two photos in the bottom, and I'm using my One Canoe 2 date stamp, and I'm stamping the photos on the bottom of the page. And I am swapping the journaling cards as well. And on the green journaling card that says Fall Faves, on number 1 I wrote, Love that Kaya wants to help me decorate. Number 2, I wrote Glitter Pumpkins. And 3, Fall Faves, it's my birthday month, and Halloween. I love October. The weather here in San Diego is perfect. It's warm enough that the kids can swim. It's my birthday, and it's Halloween. Who doesn't like getting candy? On this journaling card that says Captured Delights, I wrote, There's a popular video game, Among Us. After swimming, the kids actually played Among Us. They occupied themselves for hours, and it was great. Now, I'm not really sure about the game Among Us, but they have a villain and they need to catch somebody, and they were quiet the whole time, just walking around our entire backyard trying to find out who the villain was or who somebody was. Anyway, they played that after swimming and all that good stuff, so that was nice. And I do date all of my journaling cards as well. And on this beige journaling card that says Just a Little October Story, I wrote, I love getting up early in the morning. The house is quiet. I make myself a cup of coffee and I watch the sun rise outside of our big window. Then it reminds me to count my blessings. And I think it's so important for us to do that. I do like to meditate in the mornings, but I don't usually get a picture of myself meditating. I do that after my coffee because I do need my coffee before I do anything else. So I go ahead and journal that, and then I'm going to put that back where that goes. And then I'm going to go and look at the different embellishments that come with this kit. And that is the chipboards that I'm going to be using. And with the chipboards that I use, I like to, I always close my StazOn ink and flip it upside down because I have a tendency to let things dry. So there's the chipboard that says pumpkins, and I'm putting that on the bottom right-hand photo above the date because it shows pumpkins that my daughter is helping me decorate the house with. And there's a label tag chipboard that says October is a symphony of performance and change. Or no, it says October is a symphony of permanence and change. And I'm taking crochet thread and I'm just going to loop that through that label, and then I'm going to put it on the journaling card that says This is October. And I like to have the crochet thread hanging off the top of the layout as well. Now the other, I'm saving that autumn chipboard, and the other chipboard I'm going to use is the one that says Yes, and I'm putting it down on the picture of the kids playing Among Us. So there you have my layout. This was October of 2020, week 40. thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to be on the lookout for more videos coming this way. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and you will be getting more videos from me coming soon. Thanks so much.